basically, Nexo needed to build a new flagship line array. It needed to be a high-end line array capable of doing the biggest venues in the world. And we went to major PA companies around the world and actually did a lot of market research, got a few of those companies involved in the development of the system. And we went to great lengths to find out what the business actually needs. What do they need from a PA system now? Because what's the point of us just bringing out another VDOS or JBL or Vertec cabinet or something like that? The business doesn't need it. And the companies made it very clear to us that what they needed from a PA system was actually something that would allow them to make money again. Because since the development of line array systems have become very application specific. You know, if you're doing a stadium, you need a stadium system. Theatre, you need a theatre size system. Small, you know, you need different size systems for every application. And that just isn't cost effective. So we got a very strong message that we want something that can kind of help us to maximize our return and start doing everything. So we thought about this long and hard. And what we came up with after about a year of trying things and throwing ideas away was the idea of a modular, revisiting the idea of the system that we had with Nexo many years ago, which was the Alpha system. So we came up with the idea of a line array, modern, high-tech version of the Alpha system, which is a modular system, basically made up of certain elements. We think of it as like a Lego system, and you can use those elements in any combination to basically achieve almost anything you need in any application. And this approach enables us to, if we take a standard double 15-inch front-loaded line array cabinet as a benchmark, it enables us to scale way down from there and put the same boxes into clubs, theatres, small arenas, big stadiums, and it also enables us to scale up from today's standard line array cabinets, because our modularity enables us to add extra base cabinets if we want to do that kind of thing. All right. So have we started? Are we actually on now?
Yeah.
I'll continue then. So the system comprises 4 elements. Okay, here you can see the brand new sub. This is brand new. This was only delivered to us from manufacturer this week. Okay, this is a single 18-inch in this sub. However, innovation-wise, it features this port here, which is now patent applied for. It's something which the R&D guys have worked on for the last few months. It's a very, very specially shaped port which allows the sub to, there are absolutely no blockages, there's no turbulence created at the port, which enables this single 18-inch sub to put out the same level as our CD18 sub, which is a double 18-inch cabinet, okay? The sub can be ground stacked, it could be flown, it can be flown in the middle of the array, above the array, whatever you want to do. Because one very important thing is that every single element in the STM system, there's a sub, there's the base cabinets, the main cabinets, and this little downfill up there. Every single element has the same rigging system, so everything is fully compatible with everything else, all right? So there's the sub. The sub, by default, is an omnidirectional sub. It can be used in this configuration here where all the subs are facing forwards and it's omnidirectional. However, you can put them back to back and run them in a CD-type cardioid configuration. So I'll move on from the sub now, otherwise we'll be talking about it for ages. If we go on to the, I'd like to go on to the main cabinet, if we can. That's this one here you see with the lines down here, okay? The main cabinet is made in a composite polyurethane material. That's in order to give the system rigidity and weatherproof, make it completely weatherproof. The cabinet has a 90-degree horizontal dispersion and a maximum inter-cabinet angle of 10 degrees, all right? Within the, there's quite a bit of innovation in this cabinet. In this cabinet there are 4 6.5-inch flat membrane drivers, okay? Now the flat membrane is something that Nexo's been working on for a while, because with any cabinet where you have domed drivers forming part of the waveguide, it causes diffraction in the wavefront, okay? And what that has the effect of is that as you walk off the axis of the cabinet towards the edge of the dispersion area, you start to lose HF. It all becomes duller and duller, and then, you know. With the flat membrane drivers, we don't have that problem at all. And in fact, there's another innovation here, which is this vent. You can see this little area here. I'm afraid I can't explain to you exactly what that does because it's only recently been incorporated into the cabinets and it's very high tech and R&D hasn't exactly explained to me what that does. But the combination of this vent and the flat 6.5-inch drivers means that we stay completely full range throughout the entire 90-degree coverage area of the cabinet, okay? When you walk to the edge of the coverage area, it's not like it goes dull, it's like somebody's just pulled the fader down. It just gets quieter, okay? We have 4 HF drivers in here, and those are also innovative in that we use a ketone polymer membrane on those drivers. The reason for that is that the ketone polymer has a very high melting point, as opposed to titanium, standard titanium or beryllium drivers. Under normal use, they get warm, and as the melting point of titanium and beryllium is much lower than ketone polymer, under normal operation they start to deform, okay, which causes discrepancies again in the wavefront, which inhibits throw of the system. It means that after a couple of hours of use, the system starts to go dull and people start pushing up the HF, which creates more heat, which creates more disruption, which is just counterproductive. With the ketone polymer, it has a melting point of something like 320, 330 degrees or something like that. So under normal operating temperatures, it stays completely linear. There's no distortion in the drivers, okay? So a lot of innovation in there. We come to this box here. This is the base cabinet. This base cabinet features a single 3,000 watt 12-inch driver. It's no standard 12-inch driver. It has an 18-inch driver magnet on it. It has an excursion of plus minus 3 centimeters, okay? The driver is mated to this, specifically designed for this cabinet, for this driver, for this hybrid horn design. It's a completely innovative horn design. And what that enables is, in real terms, real measurement, this single 12-inch cabinet has the same output in its operating range as a standard double 15-inch front-loaded cabinet, okay? Which means if you look at that configuration there where you see a line of base cabinets hanging next to a line of main cabinets, each row there you can think of as being equivalent to a standard double 15-inch front-loaded line array cabinet. So that would be your 6 common standard line array cabinets, okay? But our advantage now, when I talked about scaling up from the standard system, is that we could actually hang another row of base there if we wanted. In which case, what you would have then is a standard line array cabinet with 4 15-inch in the base. So where standard line array cabinets are often that's their weak point, is that punchy base area, we can actually go way above standard capability. But at the same time, we can scale down, and we can...
So you'd effectively have 3 rows of cabinets? Is that
yeah, you can do that, absolutely. You'll see here we also have the possibility to hang just the main cabinets, and then we can put if weight is an issue, we can hang just the main cabinets and put the base on the ground. And in fact, I've listened to that at Nexo recently, and it sounds fantastic because the base, when you put the base on the ground, it couples with the ground, so you actually get more base response from it. You know, so it's actually more efficient to run the system that way than it is flying your 15s and your 12s in the air. You know, so we can do that. But it enables us to hang, if we just talk about hanging, a single line of main, or we can put the base at the top and the main underneath, or whatever we want to do, or the subs above it, and then whatever you want to do. We can go double wide, or we can go triple wide, or we can even do something like this where we're ground stacking.
So in comparison to other systems, that's a unique thing, is the fact that you can mix and match the cabinets wherever you wish.
Totally. Basically,
I don't know much about line arrays. So.
No, okay, but what the concept of this system is, as I said, rental companies said to us, we invest in these massive stadium arena PA systems, but we don't do stadiums and arenas every day of the week. In fact, we might do one, and then we don't do anything for another 2 months, and then this system sits in our warehouse, costing us money for 2 months, you know? Meanwhile, we have to use the theatre system, but we can't use that in big arena. So we're paying for that as well, and suddenly all they're doing is paying all this money out, and the return just doesn't make sense. Yeah. So what we've tried to come up with here with STM is a system that can be out working, whether you're doing stadiums, theatres, clubs, whatever. It can be working 365 days a year. We have another set of innovation, guys, but you need to come around this side of them. just from the rear of the cluster. All that happens is that the local guys can bring in dollies, and if you see, we have a 3-point rigging system, 2 points here and 1 at the back. Basically, the cabinets land on top of here. This male piece has a corresponding female piece in there. If I just release this here, you will see, you see there?
Oh. Oh.
As this comes down, to lock these points together, all I do is that. You see that? It's locked. Okay. So then I just pull the pin out that's here. This corresponding piece comes down from the cabinet above, and I lock them together. And sorry mate. And you change the angle in between the cabinets by this wheel here. It's as simple as that.